Vengeful Gaiden Moonrider has been praised and applauded for its excellent 16-bit visual presentation and excellent gameplay. Two great games gets mentioned by other reviewers, which is a homage to Moonrider: Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, and Strider, Sega Genesis version. In this video, I will be comparing Moonrider to its two great classics of its time and what elements did it made it through to Vengeful Gaiden Moonrider, with the main focus on the visual, gameplay mechanic, and pacing. Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master was first published in 1993 and is considered to be Sega Genesis golden gems, with amazing 16-bit Japanese soundtrack and satisfying ninja acrobatic gameplay. Visually, what stands out by Shinobi 3 is its background in its level. There's layers to the background, like this level here of the cave. You can see the brown rock and its shading, the water, and the animation of the waterfall. All this horse chase level, there's moving cloud, kites, and enemies dashing and jumping towards you. All of this of course brings the level alive and immerses you in the ninja acrobatic world. In Moonrider, it brings attention to details to the next level with visual cue for the pacing and the direction of the gameplay. The background in Moonrider offers an extra layer to attention than Shinobi 3, in the sense that it's a visual cue to where you need to go and the pacing of the level. Take this waterfall level for example. You can see the moving propellers, the vertical metal pipe sandwiched between the buildings, and the moving water indicating to you which direction you need to head up. When it comes to gameplay, all three games are side-scrollers and Japanese-inspired. Strider was first released in 1990 and for this time it was considered to be a great port of the Capcom arcade game. The core gameplay of Strider is more focused around hack and slash and difficult platforming section, while Shinobi 3 is more focused around from projectile, which is your ninja style with limited ammo and somewhat much easier platforming sections than compared to Strider. Vengeful Gaiden Moonrider draws much of its inspiration of the gameplay from Shinobi 3 rather than Strider. So for this section, I will be focusing mostly on Shinobi 3 for the comparison. In Shinobi 3, you can perform a block move by throwing your projectile and holding that button, which is almost useless because by the time you block, the enemy has already disappeared or you are surrounded with multiple enemies in different directions, which makes your block almost useless, and it's quicker just to jump or dodge out of the way. The dive kick in Shinobi 3 is great and so satisfying way of clearing the area quickly or use it to progress the stage. So what happens if you combine Strider and Shinobi 3 together? Moonrider takes the block function and brings it to the next level, which is something we're all familiar with, which is the deflect. Rather than the block function like you see in Shinobi 3, Moonrider implements this with a deflect move, which is more useful and somewhat doesn't slow down the pace of the game. And the dive kick you see in Shinobi 3, even though it's almost 30 years old, it's still a great and satisfying and so much fun way of clearing an enemy. In Moonrider, it almost perfects this idea, and with practice and some consistency, you can clear an area or even take down boss levels without even touching the ground. When it comes to pacing of the game, all three games are short. The two Sega titles can be completed in 1 to 3 hours, while Moonrider is around 6 to 8 hours for completion. All three games are short and sweet. Moonrider makes life easier and more convenient for the modern day gamer. Unlimited continue, freedom to select and play any of the 8 levels from the moment you launch the game. When it comes to a modern retro inspired game, it's the type of game you wish could run on the Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis in the 90s if it was on steroid. And Moonrider definitely would have been a stunning game if it was made in the 1990s. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I will catch you in the next one.